Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I've got 4 replays for you in the tier 8 German light premium tank, the Trailblazer. So just before going into the video, we will just look at the equipment and the perks that we run on this tank. So we've got optics, camo net and vert stabs on this tank, and on the perks I run the usual, which is born leader, rapid reload, 6 sense, steady aim. I did have silent driving on this, but it's from a different crew. Don't run silent driving as it doesn't work on light tanks, so use muffled shot instead, situational awareness, run and gun, snapshot and camouflage expertise. You could trade a couple of the gun perks out for camo perks if you wish. It's not a bad shout, to be honest, because the accuracy isn't too bad on this tank. So I'll just obviously, before we get into sort of the nitty gritty of the tank, what it's good at, what it's bad at. So from the title, it's been 5 years since we've had the Hot Wheels season, and everyone will remember Hot Wheels. It was a very what's the word? Should we say not questionable, but I think it was controversial. That's the one. A very controversial season, just like the WWF or WWE, should I say, season was controversial. But anyway, it's been 5 years, and I've taken this tank out for numerous times throughout. I don't know, probably the last 6 months. Because it's actually a fun tank. I really actually quite enjoy playing this tank. Now it's based off of the Tech Tree Sparpanzer, the tier 7 German Tech Tree light tank. But essentially it's got 3-shot autoloader. Now I didn't realise till I was going through the stats on this tank that you can actually have a single shot option for this tank. You can switch over to the single shot. I don't really know why you would personally, because you might you're just better off just playing the Sparpanzer. The stats are probably exactly the same. But I run the 3-shot on this, and it's quite good fun having the 3-shot autoloader, I think, because you can sort of rack up the damage pretty quick. So and the shell velocity is really good on this tank. I mean, you've got over you've got over 1,000 on your standard APCR. You've actually got over 1,200 on your heat rounds, which is very odd, particularly with tanks that have APCR. Usually APCR rounds are the ones that have better shell velocity, particularly over heat. Heat usually sort of hovers around the 900, 1,000 meters per second mark, but this actually has better shell velocity on heat rounds. It actually has, you've got obviously good shell velocity, what I've just said. You've got 240 penetration. You do 240 damage on your APCR and your heat rounds. You do 320 on your HE, and the HE actually has penetration value of 102 millimeters. So it's a lot better on the HE pen. So I don't actually carry any HE rounds, just because in all fairness, go through quite a few rounds. It might be worth maybe loading out free shells, a clip of HE, just in case you come across sort of artillery at the end. You can rack up sort of the damage pretty quickly, and like the armoured tanks as well. You're going to be able to penetrate them pretty easily with the HE. You've got 8 degrees of gun depression. You've got 250 millimeters of penetration in your heat round, which isn't too bad. You've got 410 meter view range, which is very good for a tier 8 light tank. You've got great concealment as well. I think I've got this concealment down to about 260 roughly meters of concealment. It's 317 base, but that's why you sort of put on the camo net and all sorts of camo perks to bring that down. You have got obviously really good mobility. You've got 15% fire chance, and you've got 1.67 accuracy on turret rotation, which is pretty good. You've got 2.2 second aim time and a 2 second intra clip. So it's got some good things going for this tank. The bad points is it's a 19-second reload time base. I've got that down. In actual fact, it doesn't feel that bad at all. Now obviously this, these recordings were before sort of the equipment and the perks change that will be coming in, or probably will be in by the time this video is being released. So yeah, you can take this with a little bit of a pinch of salt, I guess. But yeah, the 19 seconds isn't that bad, I don't think, and what I brought it down to certainly makes it pretty easy to live with. In 0.38 accuracy, you got no armor, you have got a low HP pool of 1100 hit points as well, so you have to be careful on the trade-off. You can't take too many shots of this, particularly when you're bottom tier. Bottom tier you will get, it will really hurt when you get hit. And I actually find the power to weight on this about 24 horsepower per ton, which I don't think, it feels a bit sluggish to get going. But, naturally you've got to have some sort of downside to this tank, otherwise it would just be completely OP. I don't think it's overpowered per se. I think it's a strong light tank, and in all fairness, it's still quite popular. The amount of Tiger Sharks, I think it's Tiger Sharks out of this variant, because you have 4 variants. You've got the Tiger Shark, you've got the Fast Track, you've got obviously this Trailblazer, and I can't remember what the other one is. So is it like no, I can't remember for the life of me. It's the silver one. It's quite rare. That and that and the Fast Track are the rare ones. I think the Tiger Shark and this were available on an op. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Someone please correct me if they know. So yeah, very popular tank. And we just finished that game there on Cliff, where we just got 3.6k damage, 2.3k assist. We picked up the first class. I think we got a couple of kills that game as well. Credit to Fades as well. We were playing a Grom who sort of backed us up quite nice there. Yeah, you see we picked up 4 kills. So I know I've been waffling a lot on about the stats over that gameplay, but I like to sort of fill you in on all sort of the info that this tank runs basically. But yeah, so it's still quite a popular light tank. Do still see quite a lot. Like I say, I think the Tiger Shark and this tank were part of the season pass potentially, if I remember rightly. I think the Tiger Shark definitely was, and then the Fast Track and the Rip Rod, I think it is, or I can't remember what it was. The silver one of this was in they were in your war chests or loot boxes or whatever they had at the time, or you bought them as a bundle basically. So yeah, there was 4 variants of this tank, but they're all sort of pretty much the same if I remember rightly, just different skins. But yeah, so the second replay here, we're on Arctic region, and we're platooned up with our good buddy Jeff and Mass, who are running the ridiculously stupid SVAC tanks. Not going to comment any more on that, but yeah, you can sort of pretty understand my feelings from that notion. But yeah, they've decided to go on those tanks, so I've opted to be the spotter. And on Arctic region, sort of the spawn that we've started off on, I like to come to this middle area because you've just seen there we caught a tiger on the cross. We managed to get a couple of shots in. We're picking up some nice assists there. You can see Jeff has just taken out the IKV on the other side, which has enabled us to get some assist. We've just spotted up another tank, and we're at far enough distance where we can get some shots in. We've just tracked this poor KV3 in place. I think we've tracked him again. Unfortunately, we just don't have... I'm surprised. I thought, the sort of tanks that are on the ridge on F4 there would be able to get some shots in, but just hasn't happened. Now we're just going to move back to this middle point, because this is what I like to do on Arctic region in this area, is go backwards and forwards to where we're spotting to this position, because chances are you're going to light up tanks on the other side. And you can see there we've just spotted up something in the distance on the other ridge. That poor, I think it's a poor, heavy tank or medium tanks caught out there, and we're picking up some nice assist off that. We're dumping some shots in as and when we can, but like I say, at this moment in time we're just reaping the assist, and that's what this tank does really well. It is a good spotter. That 410 meter view range really does come in handy. And like the Sparpanzer, you know, the tier 7 tech tree variant, it's a passive spotter personally, I think. I mean, you can do the active runs, but it's a tall tank, so that's another thing you have to consider is the height. You know, it's easy to roll if you if you get it wrong. If you're on a map that's a bit bumpy, you know, think Normanhan. You know, when you're sort of going over rocky, bumpy ground, there is that chance you could tip over because the tank is top heavy, as I say. So that's something to sort of bear in mind. But I think as a passive spotter, you can play this really well. Well on the maps where sort of proc or Westfield, where you can use those bushes. You can just sit there and you can just basically keep the tanks lit that are on the cross or at the back, or sort of sitting at on a one line and proc and what have you. You have the opportunity to play the passive role really, really well. So we're doing a pretty good job here. We're up by 3 tanks. We've got our first kill of the game where we come over and took out that ISU 152. That helped even Mass or Jeff, there's sort of at the back there in the SVAC, cleared that side out. And yeah, that's Jeff there, who's now making his way up to A4, A5, and we're just doing a bit of an active run here. We're not going too mad, but now I know sort of Jeff and the other TD that is with him that's coming up to that position, I can now move up and try and see if I can basically close the pincer, because you can see their masses clearing up on the 9 line. So effectively what we've done here is we've just squeezed the enemy right into this corner, and this game is pretty much won, if I'm honest. Now it's just about getting as much damage out of the game as possible. We've got some nice assists. We've just lit up the artillery there. I'd love to go in and get some shots, however we've got to be careful, just sort of come steamrolling around this corner. But we see that ISU who's just got absolutely slapped there, down to a 1 shot. Unfortunately, we didn't quite aim our shot properly there, so we only get the 1 into that light tank. Now we're getting looked at by artillery, so I need to be careful, need to move around. Still full hit points, so I can take a shot off this bulldog, that's not a problem. Now I'm just going to do the dance, try and see, well, there's no way I could really sort of shoot him there, but I've just lured him back in. Jeff just sort of told me to pull back, and Jeff had me covered, sort of got a shot in there, taking out that Holland Hunt. And now we're just picking up assist off the artillery. Can I get a shot in? Be nice to take this guy out, but unfortunately Tiger 1 manages to get him before I can get my second round in. And then there we go, just fluffed our last shot by shooting on the move while sort of riding the waves of a rocky terrain there, and I was hoping I could get another shot in before I got reloaded, but yeah, unfortunately not. But we do pick up it was a good assist game there. We done well on the spots there. We come top of the board. You see the non-OP SVACs coming second and third, obviously. We pick up 1800 assists there, just over 5k assist. And we pick up the first class. We got the 2 kills. Like I say, it was a nice platoon game there with Jeff and Mass. So yeah, we're going to move on to the third replay now, where we're actually playing solo here, and we're on the new map, Death Valley, which yeah, I've not really played enough to when it first came out I was kind of, what the hell is this? But I think for I don't know about how Cold War players find it, because I don't play Cold War, but for a Cold War theme, pretty spot on. You have to say, Area 51 vibes. I quite like it, but yeah, it's a big map for World War II. I think if you're playing sort of a slow heavy, super heavy, you're really going to hate this map and you're going to struggle big time. But for a lightly, for a light mobile vehicle like myself, I don't mind it. I'm going to get around the map pretty quick, and I'm going to be able to get in sort of positions where I can shoot stuff from afar. So this map kind of suits the light tank role, I guess. Anything that's sort of fairly quick, this map's not going to be that bad. But yeah, still sort of working out the good positions, where to go, things like that. I haven't quite figured it all out yet, but I think one thing I've figured out pretty quick, like most maps that come out, is, you know, people play the fringes. They sort of play around the edges of the map rather than the middle. Understandable, because the middle, you know, unless you're sort of you're good at the game, or you're sort of brave, or you know the right spots to play in the middle, you know, you're not really going to play it, because you're probably going to get absolutely demolished as soon as you get spotted. But we come round to this flank anyway. We see his T-54. I'm not entirely sure what this guy is doing. He's now looking at us, so I'm just trying to weave in and out. Luckily he's got bad aiming, but just I'm not, yeah, I was kind of expecting to have a little bit of a one-on-one here. I didn't really want, because T-54 would, you know, put in a lot of hurt on me. Yeah, he's got good DPM. But he just seems to be fixated on someone else, and well, I'll take his hit points. I'll take the kill. That's absolutely fine. So we're up to 800 damage already, which isn't a bad start. And now I'm gonna sort of press on and just try and see what else I can get shots into. Yeah, we've got a heavy tank ahead who's sort of playing the spotting. Well, not playing the spotting role, but he's sort of further ahead, so yeah, I don't need to sort of go charging up to try and get any assists, because there's stuff already spotted. So I'm just going to play it safe and just you know, try and get shots in where possible. But there's a enemy Night Stalker here, which again, you know, completely. Yeah, I don't really want to sort of say my feelings on this tank, because yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's such a stupid tank, and I want to get rid of it as soon as possible, because, you know, I don't want this tank in the game. It's, you know, it's broken basically. It kind of really is a little bit broken, and just ridiculous. So we take out the Night Stalker quite gladly, because I absolutely hate it. If you didn't really gather that already. And now we've taken him out, we're going to move on. And we need to try and start pushing this game a little bit, because we're actually 3 tanks down now. I kind of feel like the enemy team is definitely starting to take the other flank. We see this Terrapin over here. We do get a shot into the track. Unfortunately, it just fixes his track quickly. We're not able to get any more shots in. I was kind of hoping that we could potentially have got a shot into his side, but artillery does put a shot on him, picking up a little bit of assist from that. And I've gone for the heat shells here, just in case, you know, you sort of see that Terrapin frontally. I might be able to go for his lower plate. Now the 250 heat pen obviously is nice, but when you're sort of coming up bottom tier, you've still got to try and be a little bit clever with where you sort of place your shots. Yeah, anything with sort of real thick armour, you're still going to have to try and get around their side or their rear, because frontally you might struggle a little bit. But yeah, it's just, you know, yeah, it's like anything. You sort of use the equipment or use the ammo types that suit. Now we're going to go in on this Terrapin. I've got a funny feeling, yeah, he knows we're going to come around. It's fine. I'll take a shot because I've had all my hit points. I want to try and get the side, but unfortunately the terrain is just, yeah, kind of making it a little bit difficult. But luckily our 112 comes in and manages to get a shot into the side of him after we put a shot in. We notice some tanks in the base here. I want to try and help my friendly medium tank. I'm still on reload though. We see there's a Malshin in the base. There's also this tier 9 tank destroyer. Unfortunately we get one in, bounce the other, and then we bounce off of the Malshin. So I'm going to go for the heat shells here to help go through that Malshin. The APCR will struggle obviously over distance as well, so penetration values will always drop, which is, yeah, not great. But we've got the heat loaded. We've slapped one into the lower plate of that tier 9 tank destroyer. Gonna take 2 shots at the Malshin, and the second one goes in, which is, you know, blind shot, which is nice. But yeah, it's not looking good on the scores, is it? You know, well, we're now 4 tanks down. And we see the Malshin in the cap still, so I'm going to take the opportunity to try and take him out. We do. We don't eat any shots in return as well, which is good. I'd like to get some shots into that Italian tank destroyer. Getting focused by artillery though, so I've got to lose the spot, just weaving in and out. Now I want to try and light up that Italian TD. If I can get some shots in, but also hopefully if I light him up. And you can see there he's full health. But he is frontally, and I'm going to struggle to pen with these APCR rounds. So I was kind of hoping he'd turn his side to us so we could potentially get some shots in the side, but it doesn't seem to be happening. Got to be careful, there's a ridge there, so I'm not going to go driving off that cliff. Now he's on the move, but we've just been spotted there, and it's down to myself and another light tank. There's the Aguila on the enemy team, and here's a Hawk 12 coming in, and yeah, it's not looking ideal here. And I've got a funny feeling that, yeah, my life expectancy is about to go short. And yeah, we get shot by the Hawk 12. Our friendly Vanguard gets rammed by the Hawk 12, takes him out. We get shot by something else, and then yeah, there's nothing really we could do in that situation. We were kind of done for there. But yeah, we tried. It was just a bit unfortunate. So let's just see how we got on anyway. We did pick up 3.4k damage, 1300 assists and 4 kills, picking up the first class. I doubt that would have been an ace, to be honest. I probably needed a bit more damage and a few more kills, but yeah, I thought I'd throw that in on there anyway, just because more for the Death Valley map, to be honest, because I haven't featured Death Valley, I don't think, yet. So just give you a bit of an insight how I sort of play that map. We're on the final replay now, and we are on Westfield, and I am platooned up with, I believe, Mass and Kingpin. Yep, that's exactly right. Who are playing tank destroyers. So again, a nice sort of a good sort of team play effort here, where hopefully I can do some spotting and help back up Mass and Kingpin with their TDs. So we're not on the good spawn. We have got a light tank that's going to the middle, where, you know, it's a bit risky from this spawn, if I'm honest, and the other spawn, that's the perfect place. But I think he's going to counter the light tank that has moved into the middle there, which you can see. I'm going to come over this way because I want to sort of spot up the tanks that I know are going to be sitting on the 0 line. So I'm just coming up and using these bushes in front of me. Obviously need to be careful because this is a lone location. If I do light up any tanks and they get lit, chances are they could try and blind fire this position. But we're not really spotting anything. And the tank in the middle, he's just lit up a G-saw there. I was trying to see if I can potentially get some shots in. I do have the slimmest of shots. We do get one in. Then we try getting inside of that TNH Czechoslovakian tank. Fortunately we don't pen, but then we see this tier 9 the object 432, which is you know, in the usual spot. That's where I'll come to spot on the 0 line, so I've got to be careful of that person as well. It'd be nice if we could sort of get a little bit of vision in the middle there, because yeah, I can get some shots from here. Mass and Kingpin are here now, so hopefully they can put some punish into these tanks as well. And then we're going to pick up the tiniest bit of assistance. I'm not really sure where that second shot went, but we get the third shot in, taking the Iron Rain out, which is a dangerous tank. So we picked up our first kill. We got 600 damage, and we're just kind of, yeah, it'd be nice. I just need that light tank to just sort of kind of poke and get us a bit of, you know, just to spot up that base, because A, we need a reset on there, but also might be able to get some shots in. We do see this Conway though, who is out in the open, and Mass just completely destroys him there after we put a couple of shots in, bringing us over to 1000 damage now. And at the moment I'm not really being able to do any spotting. We can see this Borsig in the middle, and we do get a shot in. Kingpin then takes him out. We pick up a little bit of track assistance. I'm just playing very passive here because there's stuff in the middle. If I make this push over to the other side, what's going to happen is obviously I'm going to be proxy spotted by this object 430. However, Mass decided it might be worth going over. He's taking that risk, and that's precisely why I haven't done that risk, because I know what Mass is trying to do. He's trying to obviously, he's trying to push the game forwards, which I get, but I think a bit of over-aggression in that situation. We know there's tanks in the middle. Chances are we were going to get shot if we sort of pushed over. So yeah, we're just biding our time. Equally, I think if I'd gone over to the middle, it's this kind of catch-22. You see why sort of the light tanks in the middle there being a bit cautious. We do see that G-Saw poking out. We do get one shot in. It does. Well, we get two shots in. The first one bounced, but we do get two others. Now I'm going to make my move, because I've just decided if I can get over here, try and get some. If I can clear out this G-Saw, that'd be a start. But just got the slimmest of shots. It just bounces off his turret. It's just not great. And he's just giving us his trap wheel. And there we go. We've just been proxy spotted by the object 430. We have to try and tuck in here. And yeah, this is just where it gets really awkward. I just don't think we've quite got map control as a team. I do take a shot there, but there's a full health tank destroyer, and there's this object 432, which is going to be a bit of a nightmare. Now, with 4 tanks down, we do take out that object 432, which is good. Now we've got this HMH ISU 130. He's just fired, so we're going to get some shots in. Unfortunately, if we had a full clip there, we could have taken him out. But I'm hoping that friendly, a friendly tank next to me takes him out, which he does. Actually, Kingpin. Didn't realise it was Kingpin next to me. I thought it was someone else. Well done, Kingpin. He's just taken out that ISU 130, which does me a favour, because now we kind of got the freedom a little bit of this side. But then I didn't realise there was this tank here, so I'm just kind of going to have to do a bit of a YOLO run. Again, got to be careful, because there are going to be tanks in the middle that are going to fire at me, and this is just where, I've just gone into sort of boost mode of just trying to get out there. We're not being targeted. We managed to sort of do that run relatively safe. Well, I say relatively safe. We didn't get shot, which was the main thing. But yeah, that was a bit of a crazy run. We got rid of the Earthshaker, which was the surprise. And yeah, now again the scores are really tight. And this is where I'm hoping I can sort of try and come into my own. I think that G-Saw is still alive in the middle there, which has just taken out one of our tanks, that T28 Prot. Now, I think I've gone a reload here, not realising I had 2 shells left of APCR. And this is where I should have gone on the heat. This is where auto-loaders can catch you out. You've got to pay attention to ammo capacity, because sometimes that can trip you up. Probably thinking I've got a full clip, and in actual fact I haven't got 2 shots. But going to try and take out this G-Saw. Unfortunately, this dead wreck was in the way. I really sort of wanted to take that G-Saw out, mainly because I need the reset. But we're in a little bit of trouble here. There's only me and Kingpin left now. Yeah, it's not great. We noticed this medium tank on the right. I was potentially going to look at getting some shots in. My main concern is that light tank that is now coming for mass, but we're also getting pushed here by a heavy tank, and yeah, this is just not good. Getting YOLO'd here by this heavy tank, who does actually catch us, takes out a bit of our health, but we do manage to take him out. But now, yeah, we're just getting rushed here. Kingpin did take out the light tank, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's not great. If I'd just been reloaded there, I could have perhaps taken out this ISM. We do manage to get a shot in, but yeah, unfortunately the base gets captured. I'm surprised I actually didn't get taken out there by that M103, but yeah, we do lose the game there. If we just had a little bit more time, we possibly could have changed that result, but yeah, it is what it is. But we do pick up 3.9k damage. We pick up just over 1,000 assists. Credit to Kingpin as well. He did try sort of putting the damage in as well, which he did. But yeah, it just wasn't to be. But anyway, that is it, guys, for the Trailblazer. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do like and subscribe, because it always does help the channel. As always, I'll catch you next time.
Uh-oh.